Righty.
All right, y'all. What up, y'all? What up?
Righty.
It's a good morning.
You know, we're trying to do my coach thing.
What up? What up? What up? Yo. It is the Morning Tea Radio Show, and we are live on a Wednesday. We are a little behind because guess what? It was a little rough this morning.
Yeah.
Traffic was out there.
But we here, though.
We here. Traffic was deep. I'm like, where are all these people going in the morning?
That's what matters.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Guess what? So if this is your first time tuning in to the Morning Tea Radio Show, we utilize this platform for businesses, entrepreneurs, those who are wanting to grow and enlarge their network and territory. But we also have morning tea topics. And our morning tea topics are things that happen each and every day. So do us a favor, y'all. Share the live, comment, invite some people so they can tune in. We got an absolutely amazing show today as we have. Man, we've been gone for 2 weeks.
You've been gone for 2 weeks. I've been here.
He was here 1 week. 1 week it was him. The next week it was me.
Yeah, 1 week. Yeah, I
know. Don't be trying to put it on me like I was gone.
Some flu or something had caught up with you, boy. I was like, man, hold on.
But listen, I had gotten a little ill too. I don't know if it was because I was ripping and running and doing a lot of stuff. However, I made sure that last week I celebrated my birthday on last week. So I celebrated my birthday on last week. You know what? I really didn't this year. I really didn't. I didn't go all out because all I could think about was, I don't want to. A lot of times we spend our birthday spending a lot of money for everybody else to celebrate. And this year I was you know what? I just want to go to eat, celebrate, just the gift of life. Normally I'm
that's why I'm finna say, normally when I met you, boy, you was going the whole month.
Yeah, and I really stopped that last year. I think I did about 3 or 4 things last year. However, it hit different this year for me. I was just happy to be alive.
You was more grown, thinking more grownish.
Nah, I've been grownish, but people love to celebrate with me, and I love to celebrate life. And that's not just myself. I really, truly love to celebrate life for other people too. But this year, I felt like I'm just happy to wake up on my birthday and be alive.
Grown folk.
I was like, I'm just grateful to be alive.
That's called grown folk.
Absolutely. Then I went to the ATL. So I went to the ATL on last week. Got a chance to see Dave Hollister.
Come on.
In concert.
Was it a good concert?
Oh yeah, it was a very good concert. It was, he sound, how you go to some concerts and it's live and you be like, ooh, you don't sound like you sound. No, he really, this was a grown and sexy concert.
Well,
it was entertaining. Oh yeah, he was singing. He was singing like church singing and shout out to the band. Shout out to D19.
Yeah.
Mr. DLS Music was in the building.
They put it down?
Yeah, they definitely put it down.
They ain't put it down.
They put it down. So if Dave Hollister is coming in your show, in your city, make sure that y'all grab y'all tickets to City Winery Tour. They have, I think, up until June, sometime in June, that they're touring. So if you are on the live, if you know somebody in the areas, make sure that you go to the City Winery site.
So I say this here: imagine a concert without a band.
Oh man, a live band.
We gotta shout out the band.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gotta shout out the band. Gotta shout out the band because they did their thing. Shout out to Rex Hardy. Nolan and Mike. I got it right.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. They put it down. So what else you been doing, Ice?
You know what? I just been cooling, man. I'm trying to just soak up everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Just trying to soak
everything, because it is a lot going on. Yeah. It's a lot going on, especially not just in the city of Houston, but surrounded areas. Yeah. It's a lot of things going on, and I guess that's why
I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna say this here to those that's still trying to pivot.
Yeah,
you ain't by yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's a mental thing out here trying to just really just lock in on everything. Yeah, because it's this going on, that going on, this going on, that going. So trying to lock.
We're gonna talk a little bit about that, especially with the culture when I'm morning tea topic. It's so funny how God gives me topics on the way sometimes coming here. Because we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about crab in the bucket mentality when it comes to the culture, because I think, I don't want to get into the topic. However, it's really going to be good because of the simple fact that I don't even think that people even understand their motives and the things that they do actually is that mentality. Right. So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Shout out to everybody that's tuned in.
Yeah, man. For sure. Man. Hey, Sissy. Good morning. Shout out to Brandy Lily. Lady P, Jamie, good morning to y'all. Yeah. And of course, Kimberly, Miss Kim, and Jessica, my business besties that's on the live. Y'all do us a favor, share the live, invite somebody. If you don't know, like I shared, we have the morning tea topic, which happens situations, circumstances that happen each and every day. However, your perspective may change. And I always say, if you haven't experienced some of the things that we talk about, just keep on living. Keep on living, because you never know when an experience will knock on your door. And based on our conversation here, based on the comments, based on the viewers, you guys interacting with us and talking to us about some of your situations, your life journeys, your perspective can change. Or when you have this situation or this circumstance, you can have ideas and ways and how to handle it. So we got a great show today. I got some entertainment news, and then also I got a morning tea letter. I got a morning tea letter today. Yes. So you guys make sure that you comment and share your perspective when it comes to the morning tea letter. But let's get into this entertainment news. So Casey claims that Diddy's pressing for her memoir and her money statements. So while Diddy is in jail, he's clapping back, or Casey is clapping back at Diddy in court, accusing him of overstepping his subpoena that's digging way too deep into her personal business. So he's wanting her journals. He's wanting her financial statements. And my thing is, what do you need that for? Like, what do you need that for? But however, according to them, the legal documents obtained, Casey is asking the judge to shut down a subpoena says she was served by Diddy's legal team on March the 19th. Bad Boy Tainted mogul is reportedly demanding that Casey turn over a wide range autobiographies, journals that talks about their relationship, any subpoenas. I'm guessing when it comes to her financial statements, what is she purchasing? But for me, I'm like, how you gonna try to bully this girl behind bars?
And see, that's what I was finna say. It's like, just my opinion. It's like, I'm gonna show you that I still got power.
Exactly.
I'm gonna show you that I'm still the man.
Exactly.
But like sometimes enough is enough.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You cold. You caught. Like you are caught.
Yeah.
And
whatever it is that you've done,
it's gonna come out.
It's coming back to bite you in your little tail.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's crazy that you still are trying to control the narrative.
But that's on the narcissism. Inside. That's all of that,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
we're gonna see how it shakes. So listen, Shannon Sharpe hits with $50 million lawsuit over alleged sexual misconduct and battery.
See that boy taking them
Shannon
pills.
Sharpe.
See, he taking them pills.
So what's going on is he's denying the claim of the civil suit. According to Sharpe, who's been represented by attorney, was in a consensual sexual relationship with a woman who was in her 20s and he was in his 50s. So the lady, she references sexual fantasies, role play, and the desire to have Sharpe's big back baby. And the messages are just a sampling of broader platform. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing again, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios. And the lawsuit filed under the Jane Doe lays out a pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse, including allegations that Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke, slap her. And of course, the plaintiff's attorney is Tony Bugsby. He know he can get an entertainer.
See, well, I'm gonna say, see them hymns. See they promote them hymns.
Listen,
see.
20 years old, and he in his 50s. He in his 50s.
He taking them hymns. Thinking he a young stud.
He got him a young tenderoni.
He thinking he a young.
And she done set him up for 50 million.
A young whippersnapper.
50 million. He didn't got his side. And listen, let me tell you what's so funny.
You don't even much understand. They let them hymns take over.
Yeah, but
he ain't thinking right. He thinking with the wrong.
Yeah. But here's the thing, like, you know, because he's always professed and been very loud with not wanting to be in a relationship, right? He's always talked about that. Then, of course, you know, they had the rumors that he was a little funny, you know, he was a little fruit of the loom or whatever.
A fruit box.
Okay. So now it's a 20-year-old. It's a 20-year-old. To me, that's
what he be promoting. What's the name of that stuff he be promoting?
I don't know.
He be talking about, man, this stuff gonna make you. Yeah, but it's gonna also make you come out
50 million. 50 million. Young tenderoni say, okay, I got you. You think I'm about role playing and all that? I got something
break
for
my
you.
Back in. I'm finna get you.
Oh, Shannon Sharp. They always messing with old
man.
Shannon.
Look,
Shannon.
Hey.
But he is a very good.
So let me ask you before we move on. So,
what? Why? What?
So do you think the hymns like?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. However, I know she going for 50 million. So I don't know.
He probably need to lay off the stuff he be promoting.
I don't know. Because I don't know how they work. I don't know. Shannon. I don't know. But 20 years old up to 50 million. Okay, so here's another a great story. A great story. So a dog hero. And I want y'all to give some feedback on this story because as I was listening to the story, as I was reading the story, I was like, you know what? I don't know if all of that makes sense to me. So a toddler had wandered from his home in the mountain lion territory in Beaufort, Arizona, right? Out on his nightly patrol, a dog found him, right? A 2-year-old boy who spent a night alone in Arizona's wilderness was led to safety by a rancher's dog and was recovering safety at home with his family on Thursday. So apparently the 2-year-old had wandered off and was gone overnight. And this is where the story gets interesting to me. The father comes outside and was getting in his truck and see the dog and the 2-year-old walking. The dog walking beside the 2-year-old. But this is where it gets interesting for me. The 2-year-old told them that they would sleep under the tree. He would sleep under the tree. I don't know no 2-year-old that could just have that kind of conversation at 2.
Shit, nowadays they have all kind of conversations.
I was thinking to myself, how did the 2-year-old say I was sleeping under the tree at 2? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Do y'all know any 2-year-olds that can say, if somebody asks them, where are you? I was sleeping under the tree. I've never known that.
I don't know.
Reportedly told them that he was sleeping under the tree.
So you think something else happened on him?
For a child at 2 years old to be gone up under a tree in the wilderness. And maybe the Lord protected the baby and he wandered back to the house. But for a dog that's not your dog to walk a baby from the woods in the wilderness up under a tree and
2
walk
years old, they still
2 years old, and you all of a sudden getting in your truck and you see the dog walking beside your 2-year-old.
Make you say,
Like, I'm like, it sounds like a come up story for me. It sounds like a hero story. Like,
I'm gonna just put this out.
2 years, and you've been gone for 16 hours. The baby was gone for 16 hours. Now we know the Lord can do miraculous things. Can't tell me what God can't do. But the story seems a little funny to me. Jessica says that, her daughter was talking at 1 clearly. Okay, maybe so.
Because like, I see now that it's man, especially like they can get on these phones, and work these phones better than I can.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Like my grandson.
Oh, Heather said, yep, mine too. Okay, because I have known, and maybe I haven't been around 2-year-olds in a while.
Man, look. They be going live.
I guess so.
They got Instagram accounts.
Baby, because the baby told the people that, well, thank God. One of the things that was amazing to me is that this dog didn't harm the baby. the dog actually walked beside the baby.
I like what Kim said. So she said no one noticed that.
No, they were actually, they had 40 people that was out looking for the baby. So they did have a search team that was out looking for the baby, but the baby was missing for 16 hours. And then all of a sudden, when the father was getting in his truck the next morning or whatever, I don't know if he was going to look for the baby or what was happening actually, but he looked and saw the baby and the dog walking.
I don't put the talking past them. I mean, because nowadays, man, like kids grow up and move. They move so, like, it's so fast.
Yeah, you know? Definitely kids are growing up faster than they used to. But I just was like, you know,
because I'm going to tell you something. My grandson, man, blew my mind. This boy grabbed the remote. I didn't think he could do it, but he started spelling out the things on YouTube. Went to the channel, started going through he found what he wanted.
Okay.
And he like 3, 4.
Yeah. Well, you know, technology with kids nowadays, they learn that really, really quick from cell phones and different things like that. Yeah.
I'm talking about Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook
yeah.
He got a Facebook account.
Oh, wow. Well, come on, grandson.
All that.
Oh, wow. No. Go ahead on with your best self. Let me get in on that. But listen, y'all, we're going to go to this commercial break. And then when we come back from the commercial break, I got a morning tea letter, a very interesting morning tea letter that I want to make sure that I get you guys feedback, your comments. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with us on this morning. Make sure that you share the live. Good morning to you guys. We are back on a Wednesday. Y'all stay right there. Don't go nowhere. We're going to get this commercial break and we'll be right back with the morning tea letter.
Here at T&D Tax Service LLC, we offer a full service of business from tax preparation, tax planning, business bookkeeping, business coaching, company setup, payroll, and money management, along with credit restoration. We are highly trained with proven ability to communicate well with diverse groups, individuals, corporations, and small businesses. We will get the job done. Contact us today at 281-856-6568, or we can also be reached at any social media. If you're starting a business, we can help you get the job done. At T&D Tax Service, our motto is, when you start off right, you end up right.
Yo, that was T of T&D Tax Service. If you are a business owner, if you have an event, you want us to play your commercial, reach out to myself or K-Nice. We definitely have the resources, the platform for you to be able to do that. We have monthly specials. We also have business shout outs. Or if you would like us to come to your business, your event, we definitely can do that as well. So shout out to y'all for rocking with us on this Wednesday morning. It is time for the morning tea letter.
Let's talk about it.
So, dear morning tea, I have been with my boyfriend for 3.5 years. Before me, he was known for sleeping around. He has never cheated on me that I am aware of. But when we go to social gatherings or just go out, he flirts with other women. If there is another woman in the room, he keeps his eyes on her like I can't see it happening. When I told him several times that it really bothered me, he said I was overreacting. When he drinks, it's 10 times worse. I'm trying to let it go, but it hurts my feelings deeply. In his mind, it's okay that we hang out with women he has been to bed with. He says it's no big deal. How do I learn to deal with all of this and be happy? I just want the respect I deserve. Girlfriend, let me tell you something. Ain't no way. I mean, certain situations you can't control. If you are in a social gathering and it is people in the room that you have been in a relationship with, sometimes you show up to places and they may already be there, or you may be somewhere and they show up. That right there wouldn't too much bother me. But if you over there flirting with them while we together and you know this is a pass, that's another issue for me. What do you say from a man's perspective, though?
I'm gonna do what you let me do.
Ooh.
I'm gonna keep it undone. I'm gonna do what you let me do. If I tell you that this is okay and you agree, then we gonna keep it. You gonna just see how I move and how I shake.
So, but okay, I get that. Spoken from a real perspective, that's how you would do. So, in other words, you're telling her that if you allow him to do that, then that's why he continues to do that.
I know what else can I say?
Yeah.
There's nothing else for me to say.
Yeah.
Because you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be asking that question.
And then he telling you straight up, this how I am.
Yeah.
I mean, he giving you, he being honest with you.
He's not hiding. Yeah.
He being honest with you. So if you let him do that, then that's what he gonna
do. Brandon say run, let him be. Kim said, girl, bye. Marcy said, men do what you allow them to do. I agree. And here's the thing. At least she did tell him how she felt about it. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes a man will be on the defense. They will have a defense mechanism and make you feel like you're overreacting.
Right.
I don't be looking.
Right.
What do you mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like this too. If there's an issue with you feeling and you're explaining to him, you're sharing with him how you feel about something and he's not wanting to correct it, that's one thing. But another thing is, it's natural for even a woman or a man to look. Now, if you're doing it to a point to where it's disrespectful, that's a whole nother thing.
I'm gonna say this here too, and this just go to women, period. You know,
yeah.
Value.
Mm-hmm.
Her value to him
yeah.
is low.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you value something, just like your car, just like you're gonna treat it a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So her value to him is because when you value something and that person's telling you, okay, hey, this make me feel like this. If you value that, then you're gonna
change it. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, that value is a booger because I'm a man.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's being in this industry, being in this,
for sure.
It's a lot that come with it.
Yeah,
you know what
it
I'm saying?
does.
And so at any moment, people can feel like you're attractive and not be attracted to you per se, but just attracted to who you are.
That's good. Yep, that's good.
And those women that he around,
yeah,
they probably attracted to who he is because he just sleeping with them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So not attracted to him per se, but just attracted to who and what he got.
Yeah.
How, what he got going on.
That's good because you definitely have to be. I will say, even from my perspective, even my mom has shared, because I'm strong. I'm in the entertainment industry, and so certain things can look a certain way, and it's not that. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely correct. Certain things.
Okay, then let's keep it 100. It's sometimes you're gonna walk into a room. Let's keep it 100.
That's what I said.
You're gonna walk into a room and somebody's gonna be handsome to you, and they're gonna be pretty to me. But there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line.
Of respect. Yeah, for sure.
If I value,
yeah,
there's a line. There's a line that I just don't cross.
Yeah, and I think in this situation for her, I think he has a past, and sometimes I will say this too, just keeping it real. Sometimes when people do have a past, sometimes women or men can look more into a situation than what it really is because they still have that in the back of their mind.
Right.
So you have to understand when you're going into these relationships with people who may have a past, go into it with the communication and conversation on what are the do's and don'ts and where the lines need to be drawn when it comes to certain things. But
he understand though, because they talked about it.
Yeah.
And he told her, he said, from what you were saying, from what you read, he was like, well, it's okay. It ain't like that.
It's okay. No, he said it's okay that we hang out with him. Yeah, with women that he's been in the bed with. Now, here's the thing. I'm not me and you're not calling such and such and such and we hanging out. Now, if we end up in the same space, that's one thing. But us saying, "Oh, girl," or "Her girl," we going? No,
hold on. Let me call Stephanie right quick.
That's not happening. No, and if you're dealing with that, and if that's something that you are dealing with, then you have a lot more to put the hammer down on than just being in one. Like, there's a lot that need to be unpacked with that.
And then again, it's just man. I'm gonna tell you something. Again, if you let me do it, your value is. Just go down.
Yeah, that's why that conversation needs to be. Apparently, this ain't something that just started. Like, it's something that's
been going
on, and you've shared your how you feel about it, your situation scenario. So for me, there would definitely have to be a line drawn. I would be out. Yeah, I would be out because then it leads to other things. It leads to you feeling like, okay, you flirting with this woman. Are you in the bed with them too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you playing in my face? That's what we do. You playing in my face. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So very good conversation. And I like that you kept it real. I'm only going to do what you allow me to do. Jeez. And even Marcy said, men will do what you allow them to do. So you have to demand your respect and vice versa. Like, I have to know that I have to be respectful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a line that's drawn. Now, one thing that has always been a rule for me, I'm never going to let my significant, I'm never going to lower and water them down in front of anybody or allow you to think that they water down. No, I'm going to protect you and who you are to me before you feel like you can even come at me that way. So yeah, so it's definitely something. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I do. Come on, y'all, man. Stop playing. Don't play. Don't play.
What you say?
All right, y'all. So we got a morning tea topic. The morning tea topic today is we are talking about the crabs in the bucket mentality with our culture, with the culture of the Black people. And the reason why I wanted to have this this morning tea topic is because
with the who?
With the Black folk, the community. I'm gonna say the community. I'm gonna keep it with
African Americans.
The African Americans. Those that got the color people. The color folk. No, but seriously, I feel like we have always been labeled, and let's just be honest and be the truth table. We've been labeled that for a reason. Like, there are situations, scenarios where we still have that mentality. We still have the compete rather than collab. We still have the envy over support. We still have, I don't want you to grow more than what I've grown. I don't want to see you successful because I haven't made it there yet.
Yeah.
You know, those type of things. And the reason why I wanted to speak about it is because I don't understand why as a culture we don't think like the other cultures. Like the Asian folk and the Hispanic families.
Yeah.
They build together, right? They build empires together.
For sure.
Cousin got a beauty supply on this street. The other cousin got a restaurant on the next block.
Yeah.
And we put all our monies together and they become a powerful force. Why do you guys think? And why you think? Because I know we've been in situations where we've given, and then come back and you look at it like, okay, why you just didn't ask me? You know, I could have supported you in your journey and what you're doing, but now you just want to come and be nosy so you can go start your own. Man. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. What do you guys think about us as a culture and why it's so difficult for us to not see the bigger picture when it comes to us building one another? We try it, we say it, but behind closed doors, we definitely are not speaking or doing or actions that goes along with the things that we say. So let's talk about how you have felt, because we've had some scenarios where these things have happened. So let's talk about it.
I think that people of different cultures, they understand like the business side of it. You understand what I'm saying? They understand that, okay, if we come together, you know, we can be a force. Like you said.
Right.
With us, and I'm gonna speak from me, because I've been in a situation where I'm thinking, man, I can do it all by myself. You know what I'm saying? I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. It wasn't that I was hating on nobody else or nothing like that. It was just the fact that I felt like I wanted to build my own. You understand what I'm saying? Just build my own.
Yeah.
But I understand now that building, I can't lay the foundation, get the wood, dry the trucks. I can't do
all of it.
I can't do the plumbing.
Yeah.
I can't do. So what I have to do is I have to find people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I have to find people and find people who do what they do and let them do what they do. And we work together. Me and Cap was talking about that yesterday, that we try to do everything ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And not network with people, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where it started right there. It's believing that we can do everything by ourselves and not understanding that we need a person that know bank system.
Right.
We need a person that know credit.
Right.
We need a person that know, you know, building that circle.
Yeah.
And we working together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then a lot of times people, I think, don't understand that sometimes in that circle, when you are building these relationships, those relationships are just relationships, but they are business relationships.
Yeah.
and those may require you to shed some money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, when it comes to money, they think, okay, well, shoot, you're supposed to be my partner, so you're supposed to just do it. Or we went and hung out.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to just do it. Nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We gotta respect the business.
Yeah. I think I like, shout out to my brother Robert, who is on. He says it's internalized racism. Look up the Willie Lynch theory and you will see how it still manifests itself within us. It's a reason we are like we are. It's not our fault, but it's our problem. I definitely agree. Marcy said grandma didn't like folks and was jealous of the other folks, and we never broke the cycle. They were taught every man for themselves. Lack of trust. And then T said too many Indians trying to be chiefs. And I believe we are so powerful. We have the drive and the determination. We have the resilience. I think a lot of times we lack the education. We have the gifts, right? However, we don't know how to use them. And like you said, we don't have the funding sometimes to be able to hire such and such to do this and try to do that. However, we learn how to do it. But once we learn, there's still strategy and structure. And my thing as well is if we come together in our thoughts, in our collaborations, and our the gifts that we have, we will be so much further and so much larger in whatever it is that we're wanting to build, because we have all of the entities to be able to help us grow to that magnitude. When I go to certain things and I see other cultures together, especially the Hispanic culture, when I go and I see them, and I worked in a Shell oil company in oil and gas. So what I did was I was an expat. I worked in expatriate services, which we provided the visas for the families who were out of the country to come over here and do work. They were contracted for a certain amount of time. However, I looked at the amount of money that they were paying those people to come over here and what they were giving their families, what they were giving their children, what they were giving them for college for a certain, a certain amount of time. And I thought, why is it that we can't get the same here within our culture? And why is it that when they bring in their family, so what they were doing was they were getting the contracts for 12 months, 3 years, 2 years. They're getting all the money to bring their family over. But then they started bringing their other family over here and taking the money and building wealth in our country based off of and I was like, why can't we as a culture think of that kind of stuff? Why can't we get a whole pot, and instead of us wanting to keep the whole pot to ourselves, we think on larger scale of not having that crab in the bucket mentality and not being envy or jealous and build together.
Yeah, it's been embedded in us for so long.
Yeah.
That it's just you just got to just keep working towards.
How do we break the cycle though? Will we ever break the cycle of let's have a kumbaya moment?
I think the cycle is being broken. It's just being broken in a way that because now we got people that go on social media and say, you know what, I'm not gonna hold this information. I'm gonna give it out.
Yeah.
But in order for me to give it out, you gotta follow me. You understand. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it's and maybe that's not maybe I didn't break that down like the way that but and I guess because yesterday you gave me some information.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I called Cap.
Yeah.
Cap gave me some information. And I had sat in my car and I was like, okay, people just giving me information.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I had to thank Cap, and I appreciate you for just giving me information. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about it and I was like, damn, man. I thought about that yesterday. I was like, damn, man, if we could all just share information.
Right.
You know?
Right. And then here's the thing too. You have to, and when you share information, and this is something too, we have to be educated, like whether it be by trial and error, a situation, a circumstance that you've learned from, you have to be open to sharing that information, because here I am. I'm a living testimony of my mistakes. However, I know how to correct the mistakes that I made. Right. So here's what I can share with you in order to make sure that you don't create those same mistakes. Right. And I think a lot of times, even for the come up, let's just say the come up, I came up, I worked hard. God have blessed me in an arena to where now I know how it has become lucrative. Right. So now it's my job and my responsibility to share the knowledge with you so that you can come up.
Right.
You can understand the do's and don'ts and how you shouldn't do what you shouldn't do in your business. And this is what you can implement in order for you to get to. There are some people that won't do that.
Right.
They will come up and don't want to share because they don't want you to supersede or pass or go beyond
and I think
what you have where you have gotten to.
I think at some point, we all feel like that at some point, you know what I'm saying? But then it come a point where you like, okay, this is for me. This is what I'm doing is for me.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing because I'm gonna do what I do.
Right.
Regardless, you know what I'm saying? But I just think it's a point, it's just time. I
just wish we could develop that sense of community collaboration. And one of the reasons why I built the Business Besties is because I felt like if we developed an ecosystem of people who were educated, people who have done business, people who have made mistakes in business, people who have been prosperous in business, people who have a gift and don't know how to expand off of the gift or don't know how to grow from it or don't even know how to use it or get started. If you have that safe space, that ecosystem that you can utilize each other within that ecosystem, it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start.
And it take things like this.
Mm-hmm.
It take things like this because what happens is you got people on this live and shout out to Kimberly, she's on there and she's sharing this information with people, you know what I'm saying? So they can log on and they can, get on and grab, get something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think with time, time it'll just run its course. And then you know what I told myself this morning? And I just want to share this. Sometimes you have to just let go and let it play out.
Yeah.
And just let it play out.
What do you mean by that?
Like we trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We trying to figure out why the culture is like this. Maybe we just have to just let it just run its course and it'll just work itself out instead of, we're constantly trying to figure it out. It's been so long that we've been geared to think like this. So maybe right now there ain't no answer. And we just gotta just let it just play out. And then the way that we do get the answers is we keep doing what we do. You understand what I'm saying? We keep getting up, coming on Wednesdays. We keep getting up, doing what we doing, and people sharing, just getting stuff out there. You know what I'm saying?
And I think so. I feel like because Brother Robert is on here and he's definitely one for the culture and bringing us together. Remember he was on and we talked about Galveston a couple of years ago. And then we also did the Black History, the Juneteenth event in Pearland. However, I feel like those people who are continuously putting in the work to bring us together, to be more knowledgeable, to be more open to what we see, open our eyes and our ears to what is actually happening with the culture, right? I think we definitely need to, we talk about the song Boots on the Ground. Yes, I absolutely love that song, but there's so much meaning to that song. Like literally as a culture, our boots have to be on the ground. Like we have gotten so far within our culture to where if we come together as a collective and understand some of the things that we need to do as a culture to change some of the things. When I take those kids to DC for the Congressional Black Caucus, I take them so that they can create a better community when they come back here. They can understand that their voice matter. The things that we need to do as a culture, they understand sitting in the room with those who are making a difference because they got boots on the ground and they are actually doing the work. So I feel like if we continue to put it out there, continue to have things that will nurture the culture, and I'm not against you, I'm with you. I may know a little bit more than you. However, I'm not better than you. I want you to come up. I want you to be no more than what I know. But I think we're so closed off sometimes that we're not open because either we've been burned by somebody. Somebody has taken an idea and ran with it or any of those things. And so we kind of just close ourselves off to individuals who really can help you prosper and help you grow. So I really do think I wanted to have a conversation because there are a lot of people who are out here that really want that nurtured relationship, whether it be in business, whether it be in your nonprofit, whether it be in whatever the case it is that you're wanting to achieve. If we just come together collectively and utilize the gifts that we've been given and the resources and the people, the connections that God has blessed us with, it can become a much larger impact.
And I guess like when I'm saying like let it play, just let it play out. It's like I can't force you to be where I'm at.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Only thing I can do is keep being an example.
Yeah.
And then you have to want to change.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I say let it play itself out, is that we keep doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it don't fall on deaf ears.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good.
Deaf ears.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as we know, like the guy said, it's a solution.
Yeah.
So you can't make me understand the solution. The only thing you can do is be the solution and let me learn from it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying about.
Yeah.
I can't, because I kill myself trying to force you.
Yeah.
And then my attention becomes so much on trying to change change how you feel and how you thinking that I lose focus of the solution of the solution. You know what I'm saying? So I just say we just keep moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we train to think a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the way to break that, to me, it's just my opinion, is we have to keep doing what we doing.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will jump on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, like you got the kids. You know what I'm saying? You taking them and giving them different. Now they have to want to do it.
Yeah.
They have to want to get up and go.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have to want the information.
Yeah.
We can't force it on them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I just say we keep doing what we're doing, and it
for sure. Keep our boots on the ground.
Just
keep our boots on the ground.
And it'll do what it'll do what it's supposed to do. And those that want it, they'll get it.
And I encourage y'all, and I'm gonna challenge you today to, if there is something that you know that you can help somebody with, that God has blessed you with a resource or something that you can assist them with, I challenge you to just reach out and say, you know what? I know that you're in this space. I have a resource or a solution that can assist you in that. Because I'm going to tell you something. God does not forget the sower, and it doesn't have to be financially all the time.
Right.
If you support somebody by sharing information, if you support somebody by showing up for them, if you support somebody by saying, you know what, I'm going to pray for you today because I feel something in my spirit that you need to be praying. He does not forget. And it's been plenty of times where you will look at certain situations and you will see the blessing that you missed, but it was because of what you sold into somebody else. And sometimes I tell people all the time, even my clients, it's not about the money for me.
Right.
When I'm helping you, it's not. I love to see you grow in whatever that growth looks like for you. That's what helps me to lay down at night, knowing that I inspired you. I assisted in you. I changed your thought process. Yeah. I assisted you in business. I changed your.
And see, you giving a different perspective on how to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people will think it's just about the money.
Yeah, no. It's not about the money. And if you're not sowing, and I mean, if you're not supporting you and you're not doing anything for other people, and you see why, and you haven't reached your goal yet, maybe that's why you haven't gotten to the level of where you want to be in your business, because you connected with people just because it looks good and you're not really doing the work behind what it is that you need to do. Because people will do that. They will attach themselves to people who are successful because they feel like they're going to ride the wave. No, boo-boo. You got to put in the work. Yeah. And if you're not supportive, if you're not collaborating, one thing I always tell even my marketing clients, if you're not getting fresh blood every day, if you're not opening up to people and networking with somebody every day, at least one person, that could be your next $1 million. But because you don't want to collaborate, connect, network, open up your mouth, you'll never get to it. And so I believe that we as a culture, we need to understand that, walk in the room bold, but also walk in the room humble in order to be able to speak to people. Yeah, you want to look good. You want to look like it's in your pocket. However, if it's not, you better rub some elbows so that you can get it.
And I think 99.9% need to rub some elbows.
Yeah. Like, you sit up there mad because you ain't made your goal this week. What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you get on the phone? I'm getting ready to do a 12-week course. And within that 12-week course, they are going to have to connect with people. They're going to have to make some phone calls. They're going to have some calls and some conversations, and not just on social media, but they're building a network of people. They're knowing what the people want. They're knowing what the people need from them so that they can be able to sustain and be more open and grow in their business. And so I challenge you today, whatever that challenge looks like.
So do you think what do you think the issue is why people don't want to like network and talk? Do you think it's insecurities?
It could be insecurities. They may not feel that they're on a level to where they can speak. However, you can get to the level if you open up your mouth. Everybody is not closed off. There are people that will help you. But if you don't open your mouth and know you need help, what are they going to say? People are going to networking rooms and they want to look good and look cute. However, you don't know what to say, what to come out your mouth to make sure that it's intentional when you get in the room. If I get in the room, I trust and believe somebody in there. I'm in there for because I've done my research and I need to be in there, or I'm gonna make it worth my while. I'm not going in there to look cute, shake hands, and give out business cards. No, I need a conversation. I need your information because I need to show you I'm just as valuable to you as you are to me. But if I'm going in there and I'm not and I'm not opening up my mouth, I'm not firm, I'm not you can be humble, but you can also be a boss at the same time. And I think people don't understand. They get intimidated. They may be insecure. They may not feel like they're not on a level in their business to where they can speak to specific people. That's not me, because I put my clothes on and brush my teeth just like you do. So I can be in the room with the president and still feel like I'm on the level with the president.
And feel like the president.
And feel like, and even still, you're the president. I know that you're a president. I am a inspiring business owner, and I feel like I need to connect with you because of such and such and such and such. I'm trying to get to the level of my goals within my business. I want to be such. However, these are my deficiencies. This is what I don't know. And I know that you do know that. So I'm looking to connect with you because I need some resources. I want to be coached. I want to be mentored or given ideas on some things that I may have done wrong in my business in order for me to grow. I mean, but that's what you got to do. If you going to these conferences and you got pom-poms, but when you leave, you don't have nothing tangible when you leave out of there. You spent money and it was unnecessary. You wasted it. You wasted time, money, and energy.
Man, I'm eating.
Because I'm just saying, like we don't do. I mean, if they can do it, why can't we?
Yeah.
If they can do it, why can't we?
Yeah.
Well, because we want to look like we got it together and we don't. And you missing the mark. Like you wasted time. You know, I mean, I coach. Get in the room and make your own. Put your own plate on your own table. Even though it's a table laid out, but you got your own plate to eat off of. So these are some of the things as a culture we need to understand. The build is not independently. The build is to build with other people. The build is for us to be educated, for us to learn, for us to grow as individuals and collectively to grow. And so if you are surrounded by, boots on the ground, like this is a season where we shouldn't lack. We should put in the work to get to what that next season looks like. And the only way that we're going to do that is if you have your boots on the ground. If you're doing the work in order to get there. And the only way that you can do that is if you learn, be educated, and then educate somebody else.
So let me say this here. Let me speak on this because we might have somebody on here that might be going through this. So let's say transparent. You failed. You had that mentality that, hey, okay, I don't want to do something and it fail again. So that's kind of like keeping you stagnant in the same place because it can feel like if you take that next step, you're gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? So what would you say just to those people that's going through that? Because in entrepreneurship, you do fail. Yeah,
for sure. There's ups and downs. There's plateaus.
Because where you are now. I've been around you for years. And I've seen what you've been through. And I've seen the times where you like, man, I don't know. You know, I don't know. But how did you get into where you are now?
One of the things that I have to do, and as a culture, we have to do this. Y'all stop spending money and you're not getting a return on your investment. Stop spending money and you're not getting a return on your investment. I went through the trials and error. I did. However, I also invested in somebody. I prayed. I asked God for a specific person in order to help me get to what was next. But I'm going to be honest with you. I sowed a lot of seeds before I got to where I am. I gave a lot because it was from my heart and it wasn't necessarily a monetary thing for me. So for me, I learned those errors, but I also invested in somebody who could assist me in what I just said. Okay, this is where I failed in my business. This is where I'm lacking in my business. I didn't put up no front like I got it going on and I'm up here when I know literally I only have $5 in my bank account. No, I got educated and I understood, okay, these were the things that I did wrong. Now let me put the things that I need. Yeah, I got a lot. I had hit a space where I didn't know no more. I didn't hit my level.
On you.
I don't have nothing else.
Yeah, you didn't cap out.
And I can't just look at social media and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I gotta put myself in position to where somebody is gonna teach me more than what I know. And I'm gonna do my investigation before I choose who that somebody is gonna be. Because there's a lot of people wasting a lot of money and they're not getting a return on their investment. So for me, if you ask me what I did, I sat back, I didn't pick my business apart and put it back together at least 3 or 4 times. I done talked about this for a minute because I thought it should have went this way on my own. I thought it should have went this way because of what I saw. I took classes, I did all that kind of stuff, and it was great. However, it didn't get me to where I am right now. They gave me bits and pieces. They gave me little by little. And so when I invested in and understood my deficiencies and what I did wrong and what works and what don't work. So for those who are in a space to answer your question, if you have failed, we all have. Every entrepreneur has failed.
Right.
Every entrepreneur has hit a plateau. Every entrepreneur has been in a space where you need to get to the next level and you don't know how.
Yeah.
Right. So what you have to do first is make the wrong right. I talk about that too. You have to understand what you did wrong. Take a self-reflection. Did I really do the actionable things that I was supposed to do? I started out wrong in what I knew. However, I done got to a point to where I'm not making no money. I got to bring some money coming in. And what does that look like? You need to be coached and educated on what you need to do. I take businesses from where they are and bridge the gap and where they're wanting to go.
Okay, so let's stop right there.
Yeah.
Time. So
we
gonna let's come back next Wednesday.
Okay.
On this topic right here.
Okay.
And we can talk about bridging the gap.
Bridging the gap. Okay. Okay.
Bridging the gap between no income.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And some income.
Yeah. That's
now,
good.
Not all the income.
Yeah.
Starting to make some income.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, you was investing your time and really it was looking good.
Yeah.
But you wasn't doing good.
I'm gonna say it was sustaining me.
Yeah.
I was sustained, but I wasn't growing to where I wanted to grow.
And you got to a point to where you capped yourself out.
Yeah, I capped out. I capped out with what I knew.
And in order to go past that cap,
I had to change up.
Oh,
I had to change it up. I had to change it up. There's no way and get it.
Ooh, I'm bringing my plate.
You can say and I'm gonna say this and then we can go. You can get to a comfortable level and be comfortable, but then you're not gonna get to the next level because you don't know how to get there.
Right.
So you can sit on what you and be comfortable for a while. However, God, that's not why he gave us the gift to be comfortable. We supposed exceedingly and abundantly. We supposed to grow. We're not supposed, he didn't give you that gift for you to get to a certain point and you to stop. And he didn't give it to you for you to stop and not tell nobody.
Yeah.
That's not what he gave it to you for. And your next could be waiting on you, but because you won't open up your mouth and share the gift that you've been given, you're going to sit there. You're going to sit there.
Boy, you talking, ain't you?
So I know David probably gonna say, so you was preaching this morning.
Yeah, because you dropping them.
But I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. So next week, bridging the gap from
no income
to some income. That's good. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yeah,
put that in the chat. Next week, bridging the gap from no income to some income. No income to some income. All right, y'all. So let me tell you what we got for upcoming events. And then Nice can tell you how you can become a part of this amazing opportunity right here on GMC Radio, the Morning Tea Radio Show. Listen, we got Boots, Business, and Brunch this Sunday at Rustic. I literally have 5 tickets left for $54.99. You can go on my website. It's myself, my best friend, Candy Green, Miss Bald and Beautiful 2024. And then we also got Tiffany Oh So Simple. If you have been around her, you know she's going to keep it real. We're going to really it's going to be empowering. We're going to talk about business. But one of the things that we are going to share is actually boots, straps, what we've gone through, whether it be business, whether it be personal. So it's going to be empowerment. The brunch is going to be absolutely amazing. We got some awesome vendors that's going to be there. We're going to come together, network, and enjoy our time on Sunday. So y'all make sure that you go to MikaDiamondInc.com, grab your tickets. We're going to network if you got business cards. We also have swag bags available, $25. You can put your information, your sample products into a swag bag that we give out to all of our guests. We are literally at 41 guests right now. We're literally at 41 guests. So y'all have an amazing day. I'm going to let Nice turn it over and tell y'all how you can be a part of the morning tea.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to get your own podcast, you want to do your own show, we say this every week, you know, and this is a way to bring in income if you know how to work it. You know, if you know how to work it, you know. So if you want to start your own podcast or radio, we got different setups. So yeah, just give me a call. It's 832-372-6874. I'm gonna put it in the post. There you go. We're gonna 832-372-6874. And if you want to get started, like I said, and give out some of your information, promote your business, this is a great way to do it. This is probably one of the cheapest ways to market yourself. Yeah, is doing a podcast.
For sure. We definitely have some opportunities. Media Moguls, we had this conversation. Shout out to my Media Moguls. We have done a second session for 5 weeks of Media Moguls, and one of our bonus nights last night was actually talking about a successful podcast. So if you are a Media Mogul and you're catching this replay, we do have the opportunities for you to be able to do so. And remember, I talked about last night, this is a way for you to monetize and bring in income. If you learn how to monetize and do the things that we talked about during the class. We got 12 weeks that's starting off mastering the art of business that's starting on May the 20th. I got 2 slots available, only 2 slots left. So you can go to my website as well. Let me tell you, it's going to be a hard 12 weeks. But when I tell you I went from a certain amount of money to $10,000 a month for 4 consecutive months, utilizing this same strategy that I'm going to teach in 12 weeks. So if y'all are interested in that, you can go to my website. The last 2 slots, we start May 20th. I'm sending out emails this Friday. So if that is all, y'all have an amazing Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who are going to catch the replay, make sure that you comment, share your insight on some of the things that we talked about. Shout out to y'all for rocking with us on this Wednesday. We'll be back same week, next week, same day, same time, the Morning Tea Radio Show. We'll see y'all next week.
All righty.